Now at 6:30, the urgent response to the coronavirus pandemic.
4 students at this school are already being tested for coronavirus.
As schools close, teachers turn to educating students online. Congress expected to vote on a deal today to provide sick leave and free testing. Meanwhile, President Trump's travel ban from Europe to the U.S. begins tonight.
An option on the table, potentially freezing travel between states if a particular state has a coronavirus outbreak.
Our ABC 7 News team coverage of the coronavirus starts now.
Now, your health, your safety. This is ABC 7 News.
Welcome back, everyone. We are taking a live look right now at the opening bell on Wall Street. We all know twice this week, trading was stalled shortly after it started, and now investors are anxiously waiting to see how the market is doing today.
Jobina is standing by. She's going to be looking at the numbers as soon as they start to go. As you can see, they've already changed policy because it looked ridiculous when you had people there clapping and laughing and carrying on, which is what they normally do when they open and close the bell, but clearly there's nothing to laugh or clap about these days. So they have taken...
It's brand new because yesterday they were at the closing bell.
They were still at the closing bell, clapping and laughing. So things have changed. Good morning on this Friday, March 13th.
From ABC 7, this is Midday Live.
President Trump, side by side with his military generals, says Iran appears to be standing down. But he says the U.S. will still take action against the country.
As we continue to evaluate options in response to Iranian aggression, the United States will immediately impose additional punishing economic sanctions on the Iranian regime.
Meanwhile, Iran remains defiant, but says it wants no war. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Reggie Akib.
And I'm Kamasi Aaron. ABC News reporter Rachel Scott is in Washington with more on the president's address.
This morning, President Trump addressing the nation with his national security team by his side, responding to that counterattack by Iran.
Iran appears to be standing down, which is a good thing for all parties concerned and a very good thing for the world.
The president saying as the U.S. continues to weigh its options in response to Iran's aggression, additional economic sanctions will go into effect.
The fact that we have this great military and equipment, however, does not mean we have to use it. We do not want to use it. American strength, both military and economic, is the best deterrent.
Overnight, the United States assessing the damage at 2 military bases in Iraq where American troops were stationed, targeted by Iran in a revenge attack. This video by Iranian state TV reportedly showing missiles aimed at one of the bases, the regime burying its top commander, Qasem Soleimani, hours after the country launched several ballistic missiles in response to his death. This morning, 30 miles from Erbil, the capital of Kurdish Iraq, local security forces removing fragments from what they say was an intercepted missile that landed there. There have been no reports of U.S. coalition or Iraqi casualties, the Iraqi government saying Iran alerted them prior to the attack. Iran defiant, but adamant they do not want war. The Iranian foreign minister tweeting, "We do not seek escalation or war, but will defend ourselves against any aggression." Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Khamenei calling the strike a slap in the face to the U.S., demanding President Trump pull all American forces out of the region. And sources tell ABC News that American troops were in bunkers at the time of the attack, a sign that there may have been enough of a warning of possible danger. Rachel Scott, ABC News, Washington.
As Iran targeted U.S. military sites with missiles, a Boeing 737 crashed in Tehran, killing all 176 passengers. The Ukrainian airliner was heading for Kiev when it crashed just 2 minutes into its flight. The cause of the crash is not known, but Iranian media is reporting it was a mechanical failure, although that is not confirmed. The plane involved is a 737. It is not the 737 MAX involved in the 2 crashes in Indonesia and Ethiopia. That was because of system failures. A number of airlines are now rerouting their flights across the Mideast. Here in the U.S., the FAA has barred all U.S. airlines from flying over Iraq and Iran. Qantas, Malaysia, and Singapore Airlines are all avoiding airspace in Iran. Qantas is also staying away from Iraq because of the rising tension.
And gas prices have not gone up since Iran launched missiles at U.S. forces, but that could change. Oil prices spiked briefly after last night's attack, around 4% or so. But the impact on gas prices for Americans is expected to be pretty low. Oil experts are saying that there are other factors at play, like the U.S.-China trade deal and basic U.S. inventory issues. In response to the crisis in Iran, organizers are planning a peace protest in San Francisco. Now, this is video from a demonstration on Saturday in San Francisco as anti-war advocates hit the streets. Another protest is expected this evening, where protesters are set to call for peace. That one will start at 5 at Powell and Market Streets. And we used the ABC 7 News app to send a push alert just minutes after President Trump addressed the nation. Make sure you download the app so you can get the latest developments in the Iran crisis as they happen.
Okay, we're going to switch now to weather here in the Bay Area. We did get a brief break from the rain, but we see that more storm clouds are coming our way.
Yep, and Mike is there tracking it all.
Yeah, pretty unsettled pattern, gang, and that's going to bring us another chance of weather, heavier weather as we head towards tonight. Hi, everybody. Here's a look at live Doppler 7. There you go. And it shows a few showers across the North Bay. Let me put this into motion, and what you're going to see is those are sliding to the southeast into the Central Valley and falling apart. There's also a few showers developing over the ocean. They could steer close to the coast, so some random showers are possible here on future radar as our fog slowly fades, even slower than yesterday. Just some scattered showers this afternoon. A better chance of heavier showers coming at us tonight, and the possibility of some thunderstorms out of that. So if you're going to be out and about today, it's going to look like this. Mostly cloudy for the better part of the day. Once in a while, you'll need the sunglasses. Temperatures will be 52 to 55 at noon, about 53 to 56 at 4 o'clock, pretty close to average, 50 at 8 o'clock, and then the showers start moving into the North Bay the next storm as we head towards midnight. So it could be a noisy night with those thunderstorms possible. The thing for most of us outside the North Bay, light to moderate showers while we're sleeping with higher amounts of rain, which means there's going to be more wetness on the roads for tomorrow's morning commute. We'll take a look at beyond that hour by hour with future radar in a possibly wet weekend coming up in the AccuWeather 7-day forecast.
Thank you, Mike. Some parents in Sonoma were extra protective of their kids as they went to school this morning. Police just identified a man they arrested who is accused of kidnapping and sexually assaulting a teen. ABC 7 News reporter Amy Hollyfield has spent the morning talking to parents at Altamira Middle School, and she joins us live now. Amy.
Parents are really affected. So is the sheriff's office, Reggie. I talked to a spokesperson there who says they can't imagine what this girl is going through, that what she experienced was very traumatic. So they're doing all they can to investigate this thoroughly and quickly. And they announced the name of the man who they arrested this morning. New this morning, the identity of the man arrested and accused in yesterday's sexual assault of a 14-year-old girl in Sonoma. Officials say 49-year-old Jesse Leon Granado Lopez faces 6 felony charges and is being held without bail. The crime sent a chill through the parent community at Altamira Middle School.
Oh, it hit me really hard. I have a 17-year-old daughter that it really bothered as well. It's scary, small town Sonoma, and you just don't expect things like this.
Investigators say a 14-year-old girl was walking to school yesterday morning when a man pulled her into his car, sexually assaulted her, and dropped her at another location. Officers later arrested Granado Lopez, who they say also tried to grab another girl, but she managed to get away. Parents dropping off kids today say they don't want to let them walk.
Yes, I'm scared, and I'm talking a lot with her about the incident yesterday.
This is an amazing school. We love this school. But when we got the letter, it was kind of vague.
Jessica Quintal would like to see the school do more. She wasn't satisfied with the letter sent home by the superintendent or by her daughter's reaction, who told her it was no big deal.
The school totally downplayed it, and I was upset about that. They made it sound like it was nothing. It was a big deal what happened. And I feel like there should be some sort of safety awareness rally for kids, for parents.
The sheriff's office stationed a deputy outside the school this morning and says they will increase patrols in the area this week to reassure nervous parents.
No, I think just watching the kids coming to school in the neighborhoods probably would help a lot better. But any sort of presence is good.
The school district is not commenting at this time. The sheriff's office expects to release more information on the case later today. Live in Sonoma, Amy Hollyfield, ABC 7 News.
Thank you, Amy. Developing this morning, Sunnyvale police have made 2 arrests after a rash of car break-ins overnight.
Yeah, actually dozens of cars were hit across the city. ABC 7 News reporter Julian Glover is live at the police department with how officers were able to find these suspects so quickly. Julian?
Yeah, good morning, Kamasi. Good morning, Reggie. About an hour ago, we were briefed by the Sunnyvale Department of Public Safety. They were able to confirm to us that 2 suspects were arrested, taken into custody about an hour away in Oakland, inside of a car with a lot of the stolen items that led police directly to them.
What a mess to wake up to on a Wednesday morning. Shattered glass on the ground, a sea of busted windows, and a whole lot of concerned faces on this stretch of Rockefeller Road in Sunnyvale.
The glasses are broken continuously. It is a little scary, but I hope things will be good soon.
This man is just one of the dozens of smash and grab victims across the city. The Sunnyvale Department of Public Safety confirming 2 people were arrested in connection to the numerous break-ins in Oakland.
How quickly were they moving? I mean, 40 cars.
Yeah, 40 cars within a tight time period. They were moving pretty quick.
It's still too early into the investigation to say where in the city the break-in started, but Rockefeller Road was clearly a hot spot, with at least 11 cars broken into, middle consoles opened, glove boxes rummaged through.
It's surprising and one is scary.
On neighboring Sherwood Drive, several more cars smashed into. Lucy Molina says she noticed the mess before taking her daughter to school.
It's just like not safe anymore. Like we can't leave nothing in our car for people to come in and just broke into it now.
Most people we spoke to said they don't believe they had any valuables left in the car for the crooks to steal.
So they didn't get away with anything? No, I don't have anything in the car except my title.
Other neighbors hoping the 2 arrests made puts an end to the problem in their neighborhood.
We're trying to see if they're part of a greater regional problem or if it was just our city specifically.
Now, this morning, we are hearing from police that they are working to identify some of the owners of the stolen property so they can get those stolen things back to them. Another really important reminder from police this morning, always remove those valuables from the car as soon as you get out of it. Make sure you lock the car too. And a reminder, take things as simple as iPhone or car chargers out of the car, or at least stash them from being in plain sight, because that alone can be enough to give a thief a nudge to break into your car because there may be something more valuable inside. Reporting live in Sunnyvale this morning, I'm Julian Glover, ABC 7 News.
That was quick work, Julian.
That was quick. Oof. All right. Thank you, Julian. Now to the unexpected find inside a posh purse in the North Bay. So while pulling over a vehicle for expired registration last night, a Marin County Sheriff's deputy found a loaded gun in a passenger's Louis Vuitton purse. The Sheriff's Office posted these photos on Twitter. It turns out the passenger was a felon and therefore not allowed to have the weapon. The Sheriff's Office says they were arrested.
Governor Newsom is marking the start of his 2nd year in office with new action to fight the homelessness crisis. There are 2 parts to this plan: new shelters, new money. The executive order signed this morning sets aside $750 million of taxpayer money to build affordable housing for the homeless. Governor Newsom also wants to open vacation state land so emergency shelters could be set up. The governor is expected to present his budget proposals to state lawmakers Friday.
San Francisco making a fresh start to the new year. The city officials being sworn in today.
An alarming study on e-scooter injuries. Doctors at UCSF found out who's most at risk of getting hurt.
And the changes you might notice on your Facebook feed at the request of the British government.
Thanks for being at New at 6. Reacting to the coronavirus emergency, many panic buyers are stocking up on the wrong things. What experts say you really should be buying at the store. Plus,
there's a lot of confusion when it comes to travel this morning. We know that there is a European travel ban going into effect tonight, but now new word of a potential domestic travel ban too. We're sorting out the fact from fiction this morning at SFO.
What are we protecting ourselves from? Corona.
Well, this 6-year-old from the North Bay gives a master class on hand washing. Maybe you can learn something from his technique.
Still ahead, we're getting our first look at the first Amazon Go grocery store in the U.S.
Plus the reaction from supporters of the Me Too movement following Harvey Weinstein's guilty verdict.
And e-cigarette maker Juul is trying to get a new device approved, how the product addresses people's concerns about underage vaping.
Coming up, continuing coverage on the coronavirus pandemic, the extreme measures one airline is taking after a huge drop in business, and sticking to the books while schools are closed, the key to keeping kids engaged in class while learning online.
But first, we check in with your weather, and it is going to be a rainy weekend, right, Mike?
Yeah, great weekend to stay inside, absolutely.
We are going to win the Democratic nomination.
Here in California, Senator Bernie Sanders is leading with more than 30% of the vote. The Associated Press has called the race for him here. It's unclear, though, how many delegates Sanders will get from California because ballots are still being counted.
Billionaire Michael Bloomberg has suspended his campaign for president, and he's endorsing former Vice President Joe Biden. In a statement, he says he will work to make Biden the next president.
2 latest cases of the coronavirus confirmed by Santa Clara County public health officials just yesterday, bringing the total number in the county to 11.
We are recommending that people at higher risk avoid mass gatherings such as parades, sporting events, and concerts.
The age bracket we now know is most at risk, according to public health officials, people 80 and older.
A couple of hundredths of an inch of rain Saturday morning, and by Saturday afternoon, the sun will start to come out. We'll set our clocks forward before going to bed as daylight saving begins Saturday night. The slow warming trend for Monday and Tuesday.